How many miles are you running today?
No miles because we're at the beautiful White House, but why don't I give you a tour?
All right, let's stop here. Because y'all could have ran. You know that, right?
You can run miles at the White House. There's a full-size track on the South Lawn. You're right across from it. That was Bill Clinton's whole thing. Running laps around the grounds. Well, not his whole thing, but...
This is true. Per the New York Daily News, Bill Clinton did indeed have the track built, but he rarely used it. Anyways, onward.
My name is Karoline Leavitt. I am from New Hampshire and I am the White House Press Secretary, and this is the beautiful White House. We're currently walking on what we call Pebble Beach. This is where all of the press hang out.
Guys, we have to stop for a second and look at this. I can't believe you get to wake up and be here every single day. Is this a dream come true for you?
It is a dream come true. The White House is so beautiful, especially this time of year. That's where President Trump and the first family lived. And then this is the front entrance to the West Wing.
What is your roles and responsibilities at the White House?
Yeah, my job is to relay the president's message and his agenda and his views and feelings to the American people through the press.
What is your favorite space at the White House?
Well, why don't we go right in here and I will show you. And here you are, James S. Brady briefing room. It's historic and it is quiet right now, but typically on a briefing day you would walk in here and it will be packed with journalists from all across the world who show up to the briefings to ask me questions.
It's a lot more intimate than I thought.
If you have no idea who that is, her name is Kate Mackz. She is a running influencer who always starts her videos with, hey, how many miles are you running today? Blah, blah, blah. So she has scored big interviews, to name a few. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jared Leto, Tim Walz, and Julianne Hough. From the cut, Mackz got a ton of backlash because of her puff piece style video, while also noting Leavitt didn't even do the thing Mackz does, running. She ranted about the media and gloated about her job. It was another example of square peg, round hole.
How far is your office from the Oval Office?
It's just a few steps away if you want to come check it out. So this is the infamous blue door that we walk out of, and this is what we call lower press. This is where my incredible team sits every day. This is my office. I have obviously photos of myself with the president. This is my fun little cork board. And then this is a meme that I love. It's a man pointing at a brain and it says, no thanks, I won't be needing that because I believe everything the legacy media shows. So
does everyone understand how appalling that is? Aside from marrying someone who could be your grandfather, it has to be processed that this does look bad, right? You're not only platforming someone, but you are really going above and beyond to make them look amazing. And you have the youngest press secretary ever who is literally just like a memer who thinks that she knows better than esteemed journalists in their field, while we don't even know who paid off her campaign debts. I mean, what are we doing here? Because as it has been brought to the attention of many, Mackz uploaded, deleted, then uploaded once more.
What is a quote or motto that you live by?
God is within her, she will not fail. Hi guys.
Look who we ran into 1 week after hanging out with Patrick. We gotta get you on the running show.
Sure, I'm in.
By the way, this is the president's Tesla, which he so generously has told staff that we are allowed to drive if we wish to take it out. I haven't taken him up on the offer, but maybe I will soon.
If you guys see Karoline whipping around that red Tesla, you
know why. So we are here in the South Court Auditorium in the Eisenhower Executive Office Building. So why don't we sit down and have an interview?
Oh yeah. That's another variable. Mackz didn't just do her fake running show with a serial propagandist to a white supremacist. She also hosted her on her podcast. It is yet to eclipse 10,000 views in 4 days of being posted. Now, one person Mackz ran with, as previously stated, was Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, and his daughter Hope Walz would weigh in.
Running as an act is political, and you know who taught me that? Tim Walz. The first thing he told me when I was first getting into it in high school, granted I don't really do it as much anymore, I go in spurts, but when I was first getting into it in high school, the first thing he told me was that running is a privilege, and being a part of the running community is a privilege that not all people have access to. Whether you do it recreationally or you race a lot or you are, at the elite level, it is a privilege. Whether it be you just having the time to run, access to funds to buy the gear, access to, healthy quality foods that fuel you as you're training and as you're running, access to, a safe, stable situation that allows you to be in a good mental state to be able to run. All of those things are hard to come by. And if you have them and are a part of the running community, that is a privilege. So I don't really understand how platforming and administration that cuts mental health services, cuts, funding and literal shipments to food banks, is entirely hurting the climate, because you can get into running in the climate. That's a whole nother thing, but it's also just damaging to society as a whole. We should not be normalizing these people. I'm not going to tell anyone what to do with their page, but I think it's insulting to my dad to leave a certain video pinned, especially when he stands for quite literally the opposite of what this administration is doing. You don't get to both sides this. It's not both sides. We are quite literally talking about good versus evil here, and I'm just really disappointed the whole thing happened. I was there when that video with my dad was filmed, and I was very impressed with Kate, and this is just extremely disappointing.
It's not shocking. I think she was thinking about how she was going to go about this, but what's pretty interesting in all of this is the storyline within this video of, is she deleting comments or is she not? Is she hiding comments, depending on the platform? Because according to some reporting, Hope Walz asked Kate Mackz in a comment to unpin her dad's video, which got 4 million, 5 million, because they don't want to be associated with her. And one of the more hilarious comments I saw was one person saying, hey, when's the run with Putin gonna happen? And she left a laughing emoji. They're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. They're critiquing you because this is gross. It honestly, it reminds me of the piece we did, and if you haven't seen it, go on demand, where Larry David chastised Bill Maher in a piece for the New York Times where he wrote My Dinner with Adolf, and how, once you get to know him, he's actually a nice guy. He told me how to handle my love life. He was so personable. I couldn't believe how he came across. He was actually funny. I know in 2020 when Bill Barr, maybe it was later than 2020, when he said history is going to be written by the winners. Let me tell you something. When we look back on this period, all right, there is going to be an entire course being studied on how the Trump administration manufactured consent by using some of the dumbest people on the internet. Tim Pool, you saw the question that he asked Benny Johnson, who is quite literally a man who lost his job because he plagiarized his articles for BuzzFeed. You will see Kate Mackz in there as well, because what they are doing is this administration's bidding. All of the decay of this country that they are leaving, the destruction that they are putting forth, manhandling people, arresting people, sending citizens to a foreign gulag in another country because it appears two dictators have a truce and they have an agreement together. But now what you're doing is putting on quite literally a show to take away from those atrocities and in turn humanize evil. You are talking to somebody that lies for a living and uses the cross as a shield. And the amount of softballs that I heard was preposterous. But we will look back on this and we will say, what happened? How did we allow this to happen? And it's because of people like this who normalize some of the worst people this country has ever seen. Period.
Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/tytsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.